Today we're covering the 10 most overrated electric bikes of 2026. The ones with massive marketing budgets but engineering that'll leave you stranded. And number one, it's the cautionary tale that should have killed the entire direct-to-consumer e-bike model. Stay to the end. This might save you from a $5,000 mistake. The e-bike market exploded after COVID hit. Everyone wanted a fun, eco-friendly way to avoid public transit, and venture capitalists threw money at anything with two wheels and a battery. The problem? A lot of these companies spent more on Instagram ads than engineering. They promised revolutionary technology at budget prices, which should have been the first red flag. So let's talk about which brands are selling you expensive mistakes. Here are the 10 overrated electric bikes you should avoid in 2026. Number 10. Lectric XP Series. The Lectric XP gets crowned best value in every budget e-bike roundup. And sure, at $1,200 it's cheap. But there's a reason it's cheap, and that reason showed up in September 2023 when the CPSC issued a recall for brake caliper failures. The mechanical disc brake calipers could fail during use, resulting in loss of control. 21 reports, 1 injury. Not exactly the peace of mind you want when you're bombing down a hill at 28 miles per hour. Look, Lectric isn't a scam company. They've sold over 150,000 bikes, and most owners are happy enough. The problem is quality control and consistency. Check the BBB complaints and you'll find a pattern. Bikes arriving with flat tires, parts that don't fit together properly, customers spending weeks trying to get replacement components. One buyer reported getting an Expedition cargo bike where the folding handlebar mechanism came loose every 100 miles, requiring constant tightening until it finally became unsafe to ride. The real issue with Lectric is that value means you're getting exactly what you pay for, sometimes less. When you buy a bike this cheap, you're betting on getting one of the good ones off the assembly line. Maybe you will. Maybe you'll spend 3 months playing customer service roulette while your bike sits broken. The company's customer service is actually pretty responsive compared to others on this list, which tells you something about the bar we're working with. But responsive doesn't mean your bike won't arrive needing immediate repairs. At this price point, you're essentially buying a warranty claim waiting to happen. Number 9, Trek e-bikes. Trek is supposed to be the safe choice. They've been building bikes since 1976. They have 1,700 dealers across North America. Lifetime warranty on the frame. And yet, in November 2025, they recalled 75,000 bikes because the coaster brakes could fail and cause crashes. Then in December, they recalled another 700 electric bikes, models selling for $5,000 to $8,000 because the chainring bolts kept coming loose. Let that sink in. These are the 2026 Domain Plus and Checkpoint Plus models. Premium electric road and gravel bikes with Bosch motors and high-end components, and Trek couldn't properly tighten the bolts holding the chainring to the crankset. The chainring can separate from the bike while you're riding, which is exactly the kind of catastrophic failure you don't expect from a company this established. They're offering a $20 in-store credit to make up for it, which really drives home how seriously they're taking this. The deeper issue is that Trek's e-bike pricing has gotten completely detached from reality. Their entry-level e-mountain bike, the Powerfly 4, starts at $3,800. That's entry-level. The reviews are fine. It's a competent bike with a Bosch motor, but you're paying a massive premium for the Trek name and dealer network. And apparently that premium doesn't buy you better quality control, just easier access to recalls. If you're going to spend $4,000 on an e-bike, there are better options that don't require you to immediately take it back to the dealer for warranty work on brand new components. Number 8, Aventon Adventure and Level Series. Aventon has positioned itself as the middle ground option, not cheap like Lectric, not expensive like Trek, but right in that sweet spot where you're paying enough to expect quality. The Adventure 3 gets called the industry standard for fat tire e-bikes. Every influencer has one. Electric Bike Report named it their pick of the year. The problem? All those glowing reviews are based on bikes with 50 miles on them. Talk to actual owners a year later, and you'll find a very different story. The BBB complaints tell the real Aventon experience. Customer service that ghosts you for weeks. Warranty claims that drag on for months. And the classic move, batteries that fail right after the 12-month warranty expires, followed by an offer of 10% off a $700 replacement. One owner reported buying a Solterra 7 in July 2023, only to have the battery completely die in August 2025, 1 month after warranty expiration. Aventon's response? A $50 gift card toward a $500 replacement battery. That's not a company standing behind their product. That's a company counting on planned obsolescence. The customer service situation has gotten so bad that people recommend filing BBB complaints as the only way to actually get a response. The company stopped answering their phone entirely. Their voicemail just tells you to email. And when something breaks, getting replacement parts can take months because they're perpetually out of stock. One disabled Marine veteran spent over a month trying to get lights fixed on his Adventure 3, bouncing between bicycle shops and Aventon's non-responsive customer service. This is what happens when a company scales up too fast without building the support infrastructure. The bikes look great in YouTube reviews. Actually owning one? That's when reality hits. Number 7, Super 73 S, R, and Z series. Super 73 built their entire brand on Instagram aesthetics. These bikes look like electric motorcycles with that chunky retro vibe that photographs beautifully. They've got the influencer partnerships, the hype drops, the limited editions. What they don't have is consistent quality control or customer service that answers the phone. And when you're charging $3,000 to $5,000 for what's essentially a moped-style e-bike, that's a problem. In October 2025, the CPSC recalled the Z Miami SE and Z Adventure Core models because the brake caliper retaining pins could loosen and dislodge, causing brake failure. 21 reports. And this is after years of owner complaints about frames cracking under warranty, batteries failing prematurely, and the company fighting warranty claims instead of honoring them. One owner posted about their Super 73 S2 frame snapping in half, only to have the warranty department find every possible excuse not to cover it. The real problem with Super 73 is that you're paying for the brand, not the bike. A $5,000 R SDX, Super 73R X Malibu, yes, that's the actual model name, uses an aluminum frame that can bend under stress, proprietary components that are expensive to replace, and a customer service department that takes months to respond to warranty claims. Compare that to similarly spec'd bikes from established manufacturers, and you're paying a $2,000 cool factor premium, which would be fine if the bikes didn't keep breaking and the company actually stood behind their warranties. But they don't, so you're left with an expensive Instagram prop that you can't ride. Number 6, Cowboy C4 ST. Cowboy is the European answer to VanMoof. Sleek, minimalist design, app-driven features, hidden cables, premium pricing. They've raised $146 million in venture capital funding. And in May 2025, they issued a recall for the C4 ST Edition MR because the frames were developing fatigue cracks at the well between the head tube and down tube. The bikes were literally breaking in half after 2,500 kilometers. Here's the interesting part. This happened because of an unapproved change from a supplier. Translation, someone in the production chain decided to do something different without telling Cowboy, and the company didn't catch it until customer bikes started cracking. Which raises the obvious question, what kind of quality control system doesn't catch frame welds that don't meet safety standards? The UK's Office for Product Safety and Standards said the frames don't comply with the durability and safety requirements of EN 15194 and pose a serious mechanical safety risk to consumers. But wait, it gets better. After the recall, Cowboy's financial situation imploded. They posted $21.7 million in revenue against $57 million in liabilities and a $21 million loss in 2024. The company burned through most of their crowdfunding money and is now being bailed out by a French cycling consortium. Sound familiar? It's the exact same trajectory as VanMoof. Proprietary design, limited service network, production issues, financial collapse. Cowboy literally watched VanMoof go bankrupt and decided to follow the same business model anyway. If you're thinking about buying a Cowboy, just know you're betting on a company that might not exist in 2 years, leaving you with a bike nobody can repair. Number 5, Specialized Turbo Levo 4L TD. Let's talk about the most audacious pricing in the e-bike industry. The Specialized S-Works Turbo Levo 4 LTD costs $19,999, $20,000 for a bicycle. You could buy a brand new 2025 Nissan Versa with seats, air conditioning, and 4 wheels for less money. Specialized justification? It has a special blue marble paint job they call Astral Blue, achieved through their Strata technique. Industry analysis suggests that paint job alone accounts for over $1,700 of the price increase. Even if you skip the LTD and go for the base Levo 4 at $13,500, you're still paying a massive specialized tax. And for what? The bike weighs 52.9 pounds, heavier than competitors at lower price points. When you compare it to something like the DJI Flow PL, which offers similar power and torque for a fraction of the cost, the value proposition completely falls apart. Oh, and Specialized is currently being sued because their motors have an overrun defect that causes unexpected acceleration. One rider crashed and broke 7 ribs when his Levo suddenly spun out in eco mode. The lawsuit alleges Specialized has known about this problem since 2017, based on online forum discussions. The cherry on top? In April 2025, Specialized announced they're adding a 10% tariff surcharge to Levo 4 invoices to dealers, so that $13,500 bike is actually going to cost more. And Specialized is making sure everyone knows it's not their fault. It's those pesky tariffs. This is a company that's more focused on protecting margins than delivering value. You're not buying engineering excellence at these prices. You're buying into a luxury brand that happens to make bicycles, and the performance doesn't justify the cost. Number 4, Rad Power Bikes, all models. Rad Power Bikes pioneered the direct-to-consumer e-bike model and became the Amazon of electric bicycles. They were valued at over $300 million at their peak, and on December 16, 2025, they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection with $72.8 million in liabilities and only $32.1 million in assets. Their inventory of e-bikes, spare parts, and accessories is worth $14.2 million, which means if they liquidate, creditors are taking a massive haircut and customers are getting nothing. Here's what killed Rad Power. In early November 2025, the CPSC issued a warning that lithium-ion batteries on some older Rad models could unexpectedly ignite and explode, especially when exposed to water and debris. The agency recommended a recall. Rad Power told the CPSC they couldn't afford it. Let that sink in. The company couldn't afford to recall batteries that could catch fire, so they just didn't. They told Washington state officials they might lay off 64 employees and could shut down entirely without additional funding. Spoiler alert, they didn't get the funding. If you own a Rad Power bike, here's your situation. The company filed for bankruptcy, owing $8.3 million to U.S. Customs for tariffs, plus millions more to suppliers in Thailand and China. Their support infrastructure is collapsing. Parts availability is going to dry up. And those batteries that might explode, still out there, still your problem. This is what happens when a company grows too fast on investor money without building a sustainable business model. They sold bikes below cost to gain market share, burned through hundreds of millions in funding, and left customers holding the bag. Literally every Rad Power bike is now an orphan product from a bankrupt company. Good luck finding parts in 2 years. Number 3, Sondor's Metacycle and e-bikes. Sondor's has a long history of promising revolutionary products at impossible prices, delivering them late with compromised specs and somehow avoiding consequences. In 2021, they unveiled the Metacycle, an 80-mile-per-hour electric motorcycle for $5,000. Thousands of people paid the full price up front. Some of them got bikes, most didn't. The company collected $19.9 million in deposits from over 10,000 customers, then filed for bankruptcy in 2023 without delivering the bikes. Here's where it gets absurd. According to factory sources in China, there are over 500 completed Metacycles sitting in a warehouse, fully built and ready to ship. But Sondor's never paid the factory the remaining balance, so the factory won't release them. The bikes exist. They're crated and sitting there. Customers paid for them, but they're stuck in a contract dispute between a bankrupt American company and a Chinese manufacturer that's owed millions. Meanwhile, Sondor's founder, Storm Sondors, somehow bought the company back out of receivership and is now pre-selling a new electric motorbike called the Meta AT. Same guy, same company, new product, new deposits. The BBB launched an investigation into Sondor's premium electric bikes after 83 unanswered complaints piled up. All variations of the same story. Paid for a Meta cycle, never received it, company won't respond to refund requests. Some people tried to do chargebacks with their credit cards just to get their money back. The California Attorney General reportedly opened a fraud investigation. And through all of this, Storm Sondors acts like it's just business as usual. If you're thinking about pre-ordering anything from Sondors, just know that pre-order means you're giving them money to maybe build something eventually, and if they don't, good luck getting it back. This is the e-bike equivalent of Lucy pulling the football away from Charlie Brown, except Lucy kept your $5,000. Number 2, VanMoof S and X Series. VanMoof was the Tesla of e-bikes. Sleek, minimalist design, integrated lighting, hidden cables, automatic shifting, app-based unlocking, $200 million in venture capital funding. They were supposed to revolutionize urban cycling, and in July 2023, they went bankrupt and stranded over 100,000 customers with bikes that nobody else could repair. The VanMoof disaster is a case study in what happens when Silicon Valley design philosophy collides with bicycle reality. The company made everything proprietary: custom battery shape, custom frame integration, custom e-shifter, custom everything. They built the bikes like Apple builds iPhones, beautiful sealed units that only the manufacturer can service. Except when Apple goes bankrupt. Oh wait, Apple doesn't go bankrupt because their products actually work and people keep buying them. VanMoof's bikes broke constantly and the warranty repair system couldn't keep up. One bike repair shop owner in Amsterdam said he refuses to work on VanMoofs because they're impossible to repair. They're so sealed off with their own equipment that nobody else except them can fix it. He'll change the tires, that's it. The battery is a custom cylindrical shape integrated into the frame. The e-shifter uses proprietary components. The bikes require the VanMoof app to unlock. When the company went bankrupt, customers suddenly found themselves with $4,000 paperweights. A rival company, Cowboy, created an app to regenerate unlock codes. But that doesn't solve the parts problem. If your motor dies or your battery fails, you're done. There's no supply chain anymore. Number 1, any e-bike from a company that might go bankrupt. Here's the number 1 overrated e-bike you should avoid. Anything from a direct-to-consumer company with proprietary components and questionable financials. Because VanMoof, Sondors, and Rad Power all taught us the same lesson. When these companies collapse, your expensive e-bike becomes an unrepairable paperweight. So what should you actually look for in an e-bike? First, standardized components. Bosch motors, Shimano drivetrains, Samsung batteries, parts that any competent bike shop can work on. Second, a real dealer network, not just, we'll ship you parts and you can figure it out. Third, evidence of profitability, not just funding rounds. If a company is selling $5,000 bikes at a loss to gain market share, they're not building a sustainable business. They're building a ticking time bomb. The e-bike market is consolidating. The companies that survive will be the ones with real engineering, real support networks, and real business models that don't depend on perpetual investor funding. Everyone else is playing a game of musical chairs, and when the music stops, customers are left holding bikes nobody can fix. That's the real hype that needs to die in 2026. The idea that some startup with slick marketing and venture capital money is going to disrupt the bicycle industry. Bicycles are a 150-year-old technology. They've been disrupted. What we need now are companies that can build good bikes, support them properly, and stay in business long enough to honor their warranties. Look for bikes with serviceable components from companies that have been around for decades and will be around for decades more. Pay attention to recall histories, not just whether they happen, but how companies handle them. And for the love of all that's holy, don't pre-order anything that requires full payment upfront from a company with a history of delivery delays. The e-bike graveyard is full of brands that promised revolution and delivered bankruptcy. Don't let your money go into that graveyard with them. If you want to know which e-bikes actually hold up over time, check out our video on the 17 most reliable electric bikes that last 5+ years. We cover the brands with proven track records, dealer support networks, and engineering that doesn't require you to gamble on whether the company will still exist in 2028. Because the best e-bike isn't the one with the slickest marketing, it's the one you can still ride and repair 5 years from now.